Hey, quick video here, Angus here. So one of the reasons diets don't work is because when you hit a plateau, you don't really understand what's happening. So I'm gonna break it down quickly in this video. So if you track diligently a lot of different factors, you can see what's happening. And the basic thing is your metabolism doesn't go like this. As you diet, it will crash into the ground. It will go less. And what I mean by metabolism is just the calories you burn will decrease. And while that's happening, your hunger will slowly increase. And it'll get to this crossing point where you're just sort of breaking even. You'll start picking up food. You'll stop tracking as diligently. So this is why I recommend MacroFactor. There's a code for it. If you use Angus Logan, you can get a 2-week free trial to see if you like it. It's the fastest, best tracking app. But as you can see, my MacroFactor, I've just started inputting a little bit more calories. So it's gone up to about 2,400 when it was at 2,000 dead. And it's just a 1 week blip. Also, I can see in my lumen numbers that I'm waking up in in carb burn more often. That's a sign that I'm either eating too much or my body is beginning to get stressed. And another thing I'm tracking is caliber. This is a metabolic mass that you can test your resting metabolic rate with. And I find it to be super accurate for resting metabolic rate. But each week it's coming down just a little bit from where it was, about 200 calories. So there's a book called Burn by Herman Ponzer, and he put forward this thing called the constrained energy model. So you burn this much calories, and some of it comes from your resting metabolic rate, and some of it comes from your movement. When you increase workouts, your metabolism doesn't increase. What happens is your resting energy comes down, and so does your overall burn. So you go out for a run and say you burn 500 calories, but instead of burning 500 calories, your resting metabolic rate drops to compensate. So it doesn't mean more exercise doesn't lead to more results. It just means that you might not be burning as much as you think. And then Kevin Hall did this study with the Biggest Losers, and they noticed that the Biggest Losers people's resting metabolic rate was low. And the Biggest Losers is one of the most ridiculous ways to diet. Crazy amounts of exercise and tiny little rabbit portions of food. So not really useful for burning energy. But when Kevin Hall re-looked at the Biggest Loser diet with the lens of this new Herman Ponzer constrained energy model, it was just a case of bigger people burn more calories. We like to sort of think there's fast metabolism and slow metabolism, and that's sort of like if you've got fast metabolism, you're going to be skinny, and you've got slow metabolism, you're going to be fast. And that's actually the exact opposite thing that's happening. People who burn more calories tend to be bigger. Bigger people burn more calories. I am a bigger person, I burn more calories. So when I did a glorified double labeled water test, I burned over 3,000 calories. But when I diet, that plummets fairly quickly because I always choose too low a deficit. So I'm on 2,000 calories deficit. That's too much for me. So I can get away with that. So it's been about a month and a half. So say a month and a half, and then the halfway through, I've had a kind of week of a plateau. So what I'm gonna do is the exact opposite of what you would think is, hey, exercise more and diet more. What I'm actually gonna do is increase my energy. Increase the calories that I'm eating, and that's what I mean by increase my energy. And I'm also gonna increase the calories that I burn by doing more low intensity exercise. I can also see, I use Alpha Progression to track my workouts. My workout volume has dropped because I'm not pushing it in the workouts. I'm not doing as many sets. I quit early on. And that's just because I'm getting more and more fatigued. So do I want to run that into the ground? No, I want to carry on this diet for at least another month and squeeze out a little bit more fat loss before I sort of build up a reverse diet and build my calories back up and hit a new maintenance. But low intensity exercise doesn't require as much willpower. So I'm gonna do a 30-minute cycle, requires way less energy, mental energy, than say a 7-minute high intensity thing that would take me 10 minutes to prep for and take me 10 minutes after puking on the ground, regretting my life. And I won't even burn as much calories. More specifically, I'll burn mostly carbs doing the high intensity. With a low intensity, I'll burn mostly fat, which is super cool. Plus it takes zero willpower. So this is what I'm gonna do just now. I'm gonna write more about this in my Substack and my P3 diet, the protein priority plan. Nice, simple diet for people to follow. But this happens to every diet. So forget your Jason Fung intermittent fasting, forget this diet and that diet. All diets will eventually fail because you're reducing the amount of energy coming into your body, and you got to help release that energy. So think of a carb tap and a fat tap. You don't want to turn on this carb tap full blast because then the fat tap is closed. You want to turn off the carb tap, put on the fat tap, and lose some of that body fat but eventually you're gonna have to turn both tops off just to allow everything to settle for a little while. So that's my little talk on plateaus. You can read more about it below. Hopefully I popped up some pictures. Hit like and subscribe, and I'll check you guys in another video.